Pretty Little Liars, the after show here on the theStreamtv fan show network. I'm your host, Sinead de Vries, and we are live with your Pretty Little Talkers, ready to talk about tonight's episode. Over here, I got Ashley Mova. Hey. Meghan Lamontagne.
Hey.
Okay.
That was like a baby bend and snap. I liked it.
It was a baby bend and snap.
And Stephanie Gray.
Hi, guys.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We were really nervous about tonight's episode until towards the end. Obviously, we got some good, juicy info that we'll get into right away. Charles is alive, and I have to say right now, I'm really sorry to my ladies over here.
Just gonna clap it up for the both of us.
You guys, I really, honestly believed that Charles was dead. I really do. I did. And now I have to say I'm 100% on board that Charles is alive.
And good call, Mona, was saying that.
You're gonna say good call, good call, Mova.
Mona. Did it Mova or Mona?
No, I thought you were going to say good call, Mova.
But about his liver, that's genius. Why didn't you think of that?
And
That's
it's
really
surprising
smart.
that Spencer didn't mention that before.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
that was really
Spencer's been a little distracted as of late. You know, she's been.
High.
Her mind has been all over the place.
High on pot
yeah, totally.
So Twitter people brought that up though, which I was like, you guys are super smart because you all brought up that you can't donate organs after they've been drugged.
Right. No, but that is, I mean, that's really, really smart, and it makes sense and gives us all reason to believe that Mona is telling the truth. And she was really like confident and sincere when she was saying all that stuff. But like, let's get right into that scene. So. We found out so much in that scene. We found out all this information about Leslie, and we found out that the girls are like radioactive and like setting off sensors, which is so scary and creepy and really like pushing it for PLL, but in a good way, because what the hell are they gonna do? How do you remove trackers from your body?
I don't know, but all I know is during that scene, I was waiting for them to show like a dog in a cage, and I would have lost my stuff.
I know at first when you hear that buzzing, you
I was like,
Stephanie was
please
like,
don't
please
show
don't
the
let that be an
animal.
animal. Please don't let it be an animal.
No.
But you know, I think that it's just weird to me about the whole like trackers, chips, whatever you want to call it, because let's be real, I'm stealing your word. Like A is always known where these girls were going to be. So why does it make a difference that they have to have a tracker in them now or not? You know what I mean?
I kind of love the creepy factor of it though, and it kind of eliminates a bunch of people because in the PLL cast, who was really smart enough to do that? Like, who's smart enough to do that?
Caleb, Spencer.
I just thought of that.
Yeah, well,
so
Mona,
Mona,
totally.
No, but you're right. The fact that it is something so medical, you know,
it makes it seem
it
like
has to be a
what,
doctor.
Ren? Like that's then we could say like Ren and like
My future husband.
right. Yeah, I mean, there's obviously so many theories that could go along with that. I don't really know how to insert a tracker into a human being. Obviously, they had to have been heavily sedated, which makes a lot more sense now as to why. Oh, I just almost like died right then. It makes a lot more sense.
Drink your hint, girlfriend.
I'm getting really choked up, you guys. It makes a lot more sense now as to why they have these like weird flashbacks and things are coming back to them in pieces, because in order to insert trackers into their bodies, they obviously had to be heavily drugged.
Right.
Do you guys think though that just because the tracker thing, we were talking about this, just because the tracker thing is in Leslie's lab, does that necessarily mean that Leslie put the tracker in?
No.
I don't think so. I think that was just there. I mean, they microchip animals a lot now and everything.
Saying too.
So I just think that really had nothing to do with it. I think it was their way of just finding out, oh my gosh, there's something in our neck.
Yeah.
But I have to say,
also clearing Leslie at the same time.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
They make it seem like she is all a part of this. Up and even with that, because even we're like, okay, she's got like the sensors in there. This would make sense as to how she has access to this kind of equipment and these trackers, because that's what she does for a living, which is also creepy and perfectly explains just how psychotic she is. But then Mona comes at the very last seconds, like, everything you believe about Leslie Stone is false. I mean, bitch is crazy. I think we can all agree to that.
It still doesn't explain why the freaking glasses are in her car.
Oh my gosh,
she's crazy.
so
Weird.
creepy.
You guys
That's
honestly
so
think
weird.
she's just nuts. Like
I
I
know
think she's just nuts.
Okay, Mona's excuse though, is that she is just nuts, and somehow the glasses are gonna make her seem less like mental, but I don't understand the
I think
correlation
there has to be
there.
a
I don't
reason
get
for the
either.
glasses.
She's crazy.
There's like a
reason
bigger
for-
reason.
But there has to be a bigger reason than just
She's
crazy.
nuts.
Everybody
She's
knows
nuts.
that crazy people store unprescribed glasses in their car.
Obviously.
Man, I must have missed
That was
the
like,
memo.
dude, my ex-boyfriend would do that stuff all the time. He used to drive me
What?
nuts.
What
Yeah,
are you talking about?
he used to have these like glasses, and then they were see-through, and he wore them all the time.
Oh, gosh.
And like he broke a pair, and he had to get another pair.
Wait, well, I'm not going to hate on
I'm
the
dying.
unprescripted
He's
glasses.
just as
thing.
crazy as
I had-
Leslie. Just
I
saying.
had a phase where I wore
Yeah,
unprescripted
but not a
glasses.
whole box of
It's a
them.
but not a whole box. That's the
weird.
difference.
I
That
think
is
it's
the
weird.
difference.
There might be a
And
bigger
then the
meaning.
cages that, well, she does work. Okay, never mind.
But
the
she's
cages
not-
can be explained, I guess.
Yeah, I mean everything
yeah,
can
that
kind of
was
make
weird.
sense now, you know.
But she's not A.
right.
We
she's
know
not.
better.
She's
That's
not.
We all
basically
call
what.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
You
that's
guys,
what Mona's
I do
saying.
have to say, like, side note, it is really weird with the cages in the back of the car because I currently have an animal cage in the back of my car. There's a stray baby kitten
gotta tell
outside
him,
that
you
lives in
gotta
the back.
tell him.
Yeah.
And,
Or are
and
you
I'm-
gonna
I'm
catch
trying
it
to rescue
and chip it
I'm trying to
and-
rescue it. I'm not going
She's
to
got
chip
the
it, but I'm
cages
trying to
The
in
rescue
cat
it.
doesn't want to be your cat, Megan. Let
It
it
wants
go.
to be my cat. I'm a cat
You
lady.
can come
I'm
to
proud
my
of
place.
it.
I live in the hood, girl. There's so many stray animals. You can
so
literally
sad.
take your pick. Was I with you that one time? You were like,
I was like,
oh my god, I want to save them. I'm like,
Oh, it
nah,
was
they
so-
like it out here. It's chill. Anyways, moving right along. Mona also tells us that Leslie not only was roommates with Bethany, which we already knew, but that she hated Bethany, and that Leslie also had no idea who Charles was and only heard his name one time
super
on the
interesting.
night that Bethany escaped, because apparently Charles and Bethany had escaped the same night. Whether it's together or separate, if that's a big coincidence, I mean, let's be real, is it a
There's
big
no
coincidence?
And why should we believe Mona? After all that
Yeah.
Mona has really done, why should we believe Mona?
I just don't understand
Why
why
should
the
we
girls...
not believe her though?
Because
she's
that's
sketchy
her
as-
friend. I
But
feel
in
like
the
her
last
and
few
Leslie kind of
episodes-
have like
No,
a little thing going.
But I don't
know.
Mona, I don't understand why the girls aren't just like, yo, bitch, you
Yeah.
saw his face.
Tell us.
Who
yes,
is it?
exactly.
It could be that simple, guys.
Wait,
It
do we
could
know
be that
Mona
simple.
saw
You know
his
what?
face?
That goes
before the murder.
Yeah.
When she turned around,
She
she went,
turned
But
around.
maybe
Yeah.
she didn't see. Maybe first of all,
and it
A
could have been
was
someone else.
regardless.
Or it
when
was
they
an
at least
ass that
asked
whacked
her,
over the
she
head.
said something. She
Really?
said something.
But that's
I forget
crazy,
what she
though.
said, but
If
she
Mona-
said, I know who you are, or something like of that
honestly,
nature.
then that would go back to why the girls still have yet to ask Allie how she knew Bethany Young. Right?
That's true.
me.
That's
Freaking
true.
pen pals.
Yeah.
Like
Beats me.
there's, yeah. Well, we know what you think, girl. But there's obviously so many unanswered questions. It makes no sense why they don't ask these questions.
Yeah.
Well, here's my theory. I think knowing now for sure that Charles is alive and Bethany and him escaped at the same time, I think that they are twins. And it goes back to that picture that we saw in Charles's lair. There was a picture of a sweater that said baby boy, and then two siblings. Now, when you guys did the detective work, when you zoom in really quickly, it does say Bethany Jill or something, and then Charles something else, I think. I don't know. Anyways, but I think that they're twins, and I think that Bethany could possibly be Melissa, which is why
Yeah. Yeah.
Melissa made that whole cover story about her burying Bethany Young
Right.
because she was trying to cover
Okay,
up something
that
else.
just kind of triggered this thought into my mind.
Okay,
about
okay.
a theory one of you sent us. Just lost my train of thought.
Because you're too focused on your dance.
You distracted
Okay,
yourself.
Mrs. D. Okay, you know how we saw those two dresses in the piano or something?
Yeah.
Mrs. D was sending Charles those dresses to make his own Ally doll. Like he was sending one of those dresses to Charles so that he can make his own Ally.
You think
Yeah.
so?
That would kind of be like a
It's
little creepy
possible.
thing.
Also, I think we had maybe like hinted about that. Maybe you said someone sent that to you. I think
I
I
saw
read
that.
that.
Yeah, I think they
and I
sponsored
really
all
liked
of us,
that theory
yeah.
a lot because it was like that whole thing if Charles like felt like left out of his family,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
True.
Also, with that whole Melissa thing, that can go back to that whole horse stables thing, right? And we knew
Right.
that the only two people that rode horses on the show was Spencer and Melissa, and then Hannah's crazy stepsister.
The
Because that was
only
how they
thing
figured it out.
that wouldn't make sense is if Charles does end up being Ren, which I hope it's not, but I know
not.
that's where everything is
everyone
going.
keeps saying.
It would be weird because if I think that it's a twin theory, then they like dated and then he dated Spencer and that's
yeah,
just really
I
odd.
know.
And then how would he have an accent? Isn't he?
I think it's fake. I think he's literally gonna come in the finale and be
Ooh,
like,
that'd be
"Hey guys, what
crazy.
up?"
Oh my god!
That would be
And
That
then
would
he
be
just wouldn't be as
cool.
cute anymore.
He wouldn't. You're so right.
That
really
is
would
seriously
not.
so sad. All right, and then we can also talk about, now that we have all this information about Charles, Mr. D got a lot of information about Charles tonight as well. And I actually really felt for Mr. D. I honestly don't think that he's lying, you guys, or like hiding anything crazy. This was what we were talking about. So obviously he gets the card in the very beginning of the episode. We find out that the card later says, "Hey Dad, I'm coming back. You miss me? I'm gonna kill you. Bye."
Kill you on my birthday.
Charles, like just like that too. And Charles has that voice too. Imagine. No, but for real though.
Bitches.
Yeah, no, bitches. Yeah. But so obviously Charles's birthday is really coming up, and Mr. D is like, "What the hell? Who's sending this? Is it Charles? No, that's impossible. Or somebody knows that my son has a birthday coming up, and they're terrorizing me. They're haunting me with it." So he makes this list of people who he thinks should have answers about Charles's death and Charles's, you know, whatever, and Radley or whatever. And clearly he's at the end of his list, and the doctors have said either, "We have no idea what you're talking about. We have no death records of this person," or "We never treated him. We don't even know anything." And he's like, "Oh,
What does Kenneth say
no."
again? You just told me, but I want it.
He was like, "What? How does nobody
How
know
does no
this?"
one know this? I just keep thinking that that really means, how
His
does
death?
no one know that he's
Yeah.
alive still?
Yeah.
Guys, here's another thing I just thought of just now that we didn't think of backstage.
Okay.
Don't lose it.
No,
Go.
don't lose it. Don't lose it. Okay.
No.
So at the end, Mr. De Laurentiis was digging something up, right?
Uh-huh.
And we're led to believe that he was digging Charles's grave, right?
Right.
Well, isn't he the one that didn't even know of the grave's existence
Right.
because he thought
Then
that
how did he know that grave was there?
Charles was
Oh my
cremated.
gosh.
Exactly.
Is that what you're
That's
saying?
that's
He
what
went to
I'm
the
saying.
house to
How did he
check.
know? Unless he went to the house to check and saw the grave, but it was at night.
Ooh,
That's
that's a
weird.
really
Yeah,
good point.
You know what I'm
Weird.
saying? Like he had to have known about the grave.
Yeah, 'cause
So
I was
he-
So he was completely lying to Allie.
So he was completely lying to Allie
Yeah,
and the girls,
because
and
I
it was all about
you know what?
Charles.
That's so funny because when he was
my
digging up the
gosh.
grave, I was thinking in my head, like, did we know that Mr. D knew that
that's
that
right.
Charles had a grave? But I
Creepy.
forgot that he said that he was cremated.
Yeah. Yeah.
He lied.
So remember, like 5
Love
minutes ago,
it.
when I said that Mr. D wasn't hiding anything and that I did believe him, I take it all back.
all back.
I take it all back.
All back.
But yeah, so hopefully next week he opens. He's like digging,
my
and then he
gosh.
opens it up, and it's like nobody.
It's empty.
It's this
Eddie Lamb.
Oh my gosh,
It's
Eddie Lamb,
Tippy.
side story, can
It's
we just veer from
Pepe.
for 5 seconds? We saw this really great theory about how, oh my gosh, who is the cop, the soccer coach, and kind of flirting with Alex?
Lorenzo, yeah.
Lorenzo could be related to Eddie Lamb. That, wait, are you guys laughing?
What?
Because I
Why?
freaking love that. I love
Why?
that. Because I
How?
miss Eddie Lamb, and he like just disappeared out of nowhere. What if they're
Isn't
trying
one
to
of
bring
them
him back?
Hispanic and one of them African American?
Well, they could still be related.
okay, but then I could be like, okay,
They could have been adopted.
yeah, but like,
Sinead and
why-
I are related.
right? Like, why does it have to be
Those
those two?
guys, whatever.
I mean,
just
that
thought-
could be like,
because we know everyone in Rosewood
trying to
adopted.
bring it in.
Mova will forever be trying to find ways for why Paige can get back on the show.
Yeah.
And Eddie Lamb can get
Whatever,
back on
guys.
the show.
Eddie Lamb was
Eddie Lamb
our
was
key
wonderful.
to a bunch of secrets, and I hope he comes back.
yeah, and he was really sweet.
He was.
He was. He was
like,
really
brought
nice.
Spencer things when she was crazy.
Yeah. Speaking of Eddie Lamb, you just made me the thought that crossed my head right now was like how he knew Aria that one time. Remember? I was like, he knew
Yeah.
so many things.
Yeah.
But if we switch gears a little bit and talk about Aria, she was kind of like almost not that relevant in this episode.
Yeah.
She had a couple moments which we'll get to with Ezra, but but her big thing was that whole doll. I keep thinking about that shirt that Ezra was wearing.
Guys, that shirt, like Ezra is so good looking, but that shirt though, it like had polka dots on it. We were like, ooh.
It just reminded me of a girl shirt that I would want to
you
wear.
guys. At
It
the end
did
of the
look better
episode, it
without
looked
the
better
blazer.
without the blazer. It
Yeah.
just looked like he was, I don't even know, whatever. I keep thinking
Moving
about
on.
it. It's like, it's in my head. But her whole thing with that guy who's trying so hard to be on the show. What's his name? Clark! No one likes. He's like, hey
guys,
I will find a way.
I'm here, guys. You guys, I will be in this scene.
He's like,
I'm not gonna do drugs, okay?
he's like, Aria, first of all, I'll help you find your tripod or
Marlene,
whatever
here's
it is
all
you
the
lost.
donuts that I
Second of
promised
all,
you. Please
I'll
add
help
me
you
in the script.
drive yourself home. He always is like a reason to help Aria. I'm like, Aria doesn't need your help.
know, right?
She
Maybe
doesn't
he
need your
just
help.
shows up to set and he's like, I'm here. And they're like, we didn't call you in today, dude. He's like, just put me in, please. Because I don't know what they're trying to do with him. He's not doing anything except for just like offering to give Aria rides everywhere.
Yeah.
But obviously, her and him together, they discovered that Aria doll, which, by the way, which was like, you were like, okay, what would make her take that wig off the doll? It was so unrealistic. So obviously, they wanted us to see really badly that A had made a doll, right, of Aria. Right. What it all means and why, like.
There's also the clown, and there's like a bunch of weird stuff in the junkyard that I'm sure has more significance than we get.
the wood in the eye,
like,
or whatever it was.
A want like a voodoo doll,
because he wants to stab.
He wants to stab Aria with the pink hair.
But why the eye? Like, why one eye? Like, I just.
Where would you like her to be stabbed?
Why anything? Like, why make the doll? Like,
I just think, I don't know. Maybe I just think too significant about things, but like. Glasses, Jenna being blind, I don't know. I just try to put things together, but I just don't get the one eye thing.
I don't know,
I'd much prefer her to be stabbed in the heart, all right?
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean, I don't know. Who really knows what the reason is for any crazy
No, I get
antics.
it. It's weird. It's just like, why is there a doll there with a stabbed eye?
I think it was just supposed to freak her out more than anything. I don't know what this whole Aria doll thing is because it's been going on for like 3 weeks now where she keeps like taking pictures of dolls and trying to find dolls.
And her photography thing, like, does she have a passion for this? Because I'm not buying into it.
Well, I think it was like a couple seasons ago, remember?
I know, but like, are you trying to revisit it? Why does she keep taking pictures of these dolls?
Yeah.
It's like I said, like we were talking about why the scene with Emily and her Habitat for Humanity.
Yeah.
The Thailand thing.
Why that was relevant. And I think it's just because they're trying to show the girls being interested in a field because when we have the time jump, they need to be in set careers. So I wouldn't be surprised if Aria was doing photography, book writing, whatever.
Really
Emily is just like coming back from like Ethiopia
a trip,
or like
Thailand.
What? Well, she's gonna have already gone to Thailand.
So
it has to be another
would probably
country.
be the next one.
She went to Haiti. You know,
she's
Thailand.
gonna be like the traveling, like helping the world person, and then Aria's gonna be that art photographer.
Exactly.
Oh my God! Before we get to Emily making out with anybody, let's talk about a different relationship that we actually like.
Wait, what about Aria? No, keep talking about Aria.
No,
what about
we're gonna get that. We're gonna get to that too. Simmer down. Simmer down. No, but we had to talk about a relationship that was a little more unexpected because Ezra and Aria have kind of been weird for the past couple of episodes. And we all hate Emily and Sarah, so let's just save them for last.
So true.
The one that I was really surprised by was Caleb. And I was really happy for Caleb because when Mrs. Marin was like, you didn't need a book, did you? He's like, no, I was just killing time. Like,
you guys, that was the saddest thing. And I
sad.
really liked what Mrs. Marin said. She said, don't lock, she's like, she doesn't think that Hannah's gonna, quote, lock Caleb out. And I really hope Hanna doesn't because
she didn't.
Been
they
there.
totally did it at the end of the episode. They
Totally
are fine. She let all of her energy out. She let it all out.
All of her sexual
She released
tension.
all the tension. They're gonna wake up tomorrow in each other's arms.
And they're good
tomorrow,
forever
as
now?
If it's happening, as if they're currently doing it.
I don't want to be on a Halo roller coaster and 1 minute they're on a break, the next minute they're having a hot makeout session. Like, my emotions can't take that.
I know.
Yeah,
No, I know.
It's crazy. But my emotions can't take freaking Nicole and Ezra either.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Are we jumping ship?
It's like I don't even want to talk about it because it's so annoying. And she just like came in the episode like right now. Like, who are you? Go home.
Wait, okay, can we get into it though? Are we gonna get into it?
Yeah, we're gonna
let's
get into it. But before we get into that,
Oh my gosh!
we're gonna save it. We're gonna save it because we have to talk about the annoying relationships last. We have to get through the semi-okay ones.
Yes.
Okay.
Spencer and Dean,
I'm
which
okay with
I
it.
am semi-okay with,
I'm
right?
okay
I
with
thought he
it.
was so cute when he was like, the problem is that I don't want to stop myself. And then like she backed away. Spencer, you must be on drugs, girl, because he is so good for you.
He's so cute.
Can we all just talk about how you guys were like, oh my God, you guys, he's on drugs. We're about to find out that he's on drugs. And I'm like, no, he likes her. He is on drugs. He is acting crazy. He's like, that's what drugs do. These guys backstage. Like,
He was like standing against the wall in like a semi-seeming drugged state, and then all of a sudden he gets like freaks out on Spencer for no reason, but then we learn.
He must have been really worried about her. And like that makes sense what he said, because I was saying like perhaps he's mentored somebody that has died under his care or whatever.
Yeah.
But if he likes Spencer and he knows that she's going through this tough time, it would piss him off. It would piss anybody off. Like, where the hell have you been? We had plans. I thought you could be dead. And I thought it was really sweet.
That was sweet.
I don't know how I'll feel about it like next week when Toby comes back, obviously.
Yeah.
It's just like it works because Toby's not there. Don't
Right,
you guys
Exactly.
think?
I totally agree.
All right, you guys, fine. Let's talk about Aria and Ezra and Nicole.
Okay.
Take it away.
Okay, I hate it. Can I start with like I hate it, but Aria, you started it. This is the result. You know, this. You know, the lesson learned in this should be that if you like a relationship, don't tamper with it. Don't say, oh, we need to break up. You kind of
No, but it
started
doesn't take away from the fact that it hurts. I mean, she could
I
be
know,
over. I mean,
I
how
know.
many times have
You're-
we,
you're-
you know,
it
we
hurts.
ended a relationship and then the other person moves on, and it's like, oh, it still
Well,
hurts.
but
I
I
have to
like
say-
screw that. Like, why is he even talking to her? Like, that's what makes me more mad than anything.
I
The girl
actually
is
don't
so
think it's
irrelevant.
going to be anything. I don't
Yeah, I
think
think
it's
so
going to turn
either.
into a relationship, but maybe this is the like fire that Aria needs under her butt to kind of make her realize that she needs Ezra.
Because I'm sorry, you can't go date, you know, Andrew Campbell and then expect Aria to just be in waiting for
Yeah,
you forever. Aria.
Gosh, Aria.
I don't know, this Nicole girl, like, what, okay, you came and talked to Emily and you found out some information about Sarah and you hinted at the fact that she likes her, which obviously we didn't really need because they made out in the end of the episode anyways. And then now she's talking to Ezra, so like, bye, girl, bye. Go back to Thailand or wherever you're headed and leave us alone.
Maybe
we don't
this
need
is a
you
way
here.
for them to get back together because Aria's like jealous now.
Yeah,
and she
exactly.
did mention during the show, she's like, I just wish I could tell Ezra everything. He makes me feel
I
comfortable.
wish that
So maybe they're
too.
hitting at it.
Yeah.
I wish that too. I don't understand these secrets. I get it's Pretty Little Liars, it's based on secrets, but like Ezra already knows what's up. He wrote a book about this.
Right.
Like, you can tell Ezra.
Can you keep it?
I just want Nicole to leave. Moral of the story, Nicole leave. Take Clark with you and take
Yeah,
Sarah
seriously.
with you.
Yes.
Bitch is crazy. She's getting hit by cars. She's like
my
literally
gosh, I
nuts.
can't with
And
her.
first of all, I don't believe her. I do not believe
Yes.
that story about, oh yeah, that
Yeah, I
was
don't
the
either.
Range Rover that hit me. Like, bitch.
Yeah, wouldn't you
Yeah.
say a
Stop
big
it.
car? Why, a black car? First of all, it was green.
Yeah.
Second of all, it was a big car. You would emphasize the big and the green, not
Yeah.
the black car hit me.
Why
What
does
is
she need? Why
talking
did she need a
about?
picture to say what car it was? It like she should have been like, this is the kind of car it was. This is what it looked like. Like
Yeah.
Emily's like, do you think if I showed you a picture, you'd be able to point it out? Like,
Just tell her the car.
Please
And
get
why is
off
she
of-
going into weird alleys by herself? Like, oh my god, I
'Cause
was
she's
down
a-
this alley and I just thought of something, and with her like half weird accent, and then I almost got hit, and then like
I
she's
can't say
always
no. This
causing
is
drama.
my deal with her. Okay, I don't understand why Emily has a conversation with Nicole and says she just makes me feel safe. She makes me feel like everything goes away. It is exactly the opposite. And if anything, all Sarah does is create problems for Emily. And I don't know how
does.
Emily is so blind to it.
because
and
she's
just
in
thinks that-
love with her.
She
like
needs to stop being in love with like
everybody,
everybody.
I know.
else.
She's like gets
And
into
now-
bed looking for that tracker, which
Oh
I
my
thought was really
gosh.
smart because if Sarah doesn't have a chip in her,
Yeah.
then we know bitch is irrelevant.
No, but
you
she doesn't
guys.
have a tracker. She wasn't on
That-
the
that
computer
grid.
screen. I don't
Yeah,
believe
I don't
Yes.
remember. We're gonna need to go back.
Okay,
and
so
check.
then honestly, if that's the case, then what is she doing here? Like honestly,
I think
you
she's
guys.
maybe there'll be a love triangle. I know this sounds crazy, but it almost seemed like for a second I was gonna guess that Nicole and Emily
She's
had
leaving.
chemistry.
She's
Yeah,
leaving,
I
and
kinda
she's
thought that
taking
too.
Clark with her. Okay, she's gone.
No, but I thought that
Oh,
Emily
from the
wanted to
show?
bring.
No, I was just
what's her
making
face
that up. I just
useless?
want her to go.
Who's useless again? What's her name? I can't.
Sarah Harvey?
Sarah Harvey.
Sarah
I
Harvey.
thought Sarah
Sarah
Harvey
Harvey.
was gonna go with Emily. Emily was like, "Oh, we can wait till the summer and then we can get on a plane."
Yeah, that's what they were saying, is that she was going to go.
Maybe.
So then I was like, love triangle between Nicole, Emily,
Yeah.
and
Girl,
Sarah,
does
and
girl
that's
even
why she's
have a
relevant.
passport? Like, I mean, she was in a cage. The
Does
does
girl
not
even have a
passport.
family and a
I
mom
wanna
and her,
see her mom.
friends who were so worried about her, like who are
It's
MIA?
weird.
Like she's weird, you guys, and I just am starting to think that like she has no significance. She doesn't even know who Allie was. That's why she was asking all those
Right?
questions.
Right, right.
Like really?
Yeah, that was super weird.
Right? Like come
Right.
on. Right.
Right.
Right. All right, you guys, for real though, we're going to be back to take some of your questions. So hop online using the hashtag PLLAS. If you're watching us live right now on YouTube, you can subscribe to theStream.tv because we are live. How many episodes do we have until the
Six,
this our
so we have
sixth?
4. I mean, we have 3 more weeks, and then the 4th week will be.
So, you guys, we're literally home stretch, dude. We are home stretch.
Crazy. I'm
So
so excited.
please make sure you're sending us theories now that we all maybe agree that Charles is alive. Who do you think it is? And if you say Ren, you better have a damn good theory, okay?
There are good theories. That's the problem.
It better be different, is what I'm saying. Because if it's him, that would be lame to me.
That would be so
Okay.
sad.
Anyways, but we'll be right back, you guys. Bye.
That was cute. I like that.
just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
Just in case you missed it live.
Oh, just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live, I'm doing something right now.
So we're all super excited.
So this is dancing. So what would that be, like a 7?
I cannot. I literally cannot. You guys have got to get it together.
Don't hate the player, don't hate the game. Hate the contract you didn't get.
He's a coward. He's a giant chicken shit.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, it's gonna be like hurricane. Whoa.
Watch out for those girls. They are gagging them.
Hold the phone.
Hold on.
Bro.
The more brutal you are, the more power you have.
Right.
That was sexy. It was hot. It was heated. I was into it.
You are going to be the most high-paid hooker in the world.
Go ahead and invite your friends and everybody. Tell your mama. Tell them go ahead and turn the stove off and get up on the computer so we can get on theStream.tv.
Thank you again for joining us, and until next week, bye-bye.
Hello. All right, you guys, we're back, and you guys have some really great questions and kind of starting to think about some of the same things that we have talked about tonight. The first question comes from @Callie Demi Lovato, says, I'm really suspicious about Melissa's because she's making a slow return to PLL. Now we know she's going to be in the next couple of episodes. And maybe this would be a good way for them to bring Ren back, because I think even if he is not in, like, even if he's not connected to the story at all, I think that they know that they're gonna have to clear his name.
Sure.
You know, because
sure.
of all the theories that are going around.
Right.
Yeah.
And they actually are really good at doing that on PLL, is when someone has a lot of suspicion circling them, they will tell us this person's out. Like, same thing with Leslie, you know.
And,
next will be
and
Sarah
Shauna,
and
yeah,
Shauna.
And Maya, they mentioned and never brought her back on the show. Remember?
Yeah, but I mean, Marlene King did answer a fan tweet a couple months ago, I believe, that said, you will find out for sure what is the deal with Maya.
Okay, good.
She did say that. So
Thank
obviously there's a deal with Maya, which is awesome. And it's not just
contract
going to
has
be at
been
rest.
signed.
Like,
Yes.
you know, that would be awesome. But I really like that theory. And then about the Melissa thing. Do you remember a couple months ago when we first heard Bethany's voice, how we said
It sounded like Melissa.
And we were like, maybe they did that on purpose, you know?
Right. I just find it so weird up until this point. We haven't seen Bethany's face. We've seen Sarah Harvey. So it only leads me to believe that Bethany is someone that we know.
Right.
And Charles is obviously someone that we know that's been going under a different name or something.
We do all agree that Bethany's not dead, and there's gonna be an actress
I actually don't
playing
know.
Bethany.
I know. Oh my god.
But
I
actually,
don't know. But
Bethany's
who's
not dead.
Who's in the,
You're right.
Who's in the casket?
You're right. Then
the
who
girl
is
from
in
the other
casket?
school.
That's
right?
Sarah
Sarah
Harvey.
Oh shoot! Oh my god.
I know. It's starting to get a little
It's a little bit confusing.
Someone does have to be in the.
Yeah.
I freaking
They'll
don't
just
know.
find another person with like the same blood type and be like, we thought
Another
it was
blonde girl with
Bethany.
another yellow top.
Yeah,
no
it'll be a
idea.
blonde chick with a yellow
Yeah.
top.
Oh, darn
Right,
it.
because obviously there was a body. There was
that
a body.
theory.
Right.
Wait, don't put that theory to
I'm
rest
all
just yet,
depressed
okay?
right now, I
Don't
know.
put it to rest
Dang
just
it.
yet. All right, the next question comes from @Shamika_Walton. Says, what do you guys think about Emily and Sarah? Because I hate them together. Emily plus Sarah equals, I think this is so funny because she's used all the mad and sad emojis that the iPhone has. And I think we can all agree.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not good.
The only
not
thing
good.
I'll say that's
No.
positive about it, so just one thing.
Yeah.
The only thing is that it was like a long time coming, and there's a lot of tension there that had been building. Yucky tension that we all hate and want to go away, but there was tension, and then it was
A
satisfying.
long time coming. I mean, how long?
Like 2 episodes.
How long?
Yeah.
I mean, 2 episodes, but really, when is Sarah gonna leave Emily's house, you guys? Like, when is she gonna go home?
I don't get that.
Or when is
I
she
still-
gonna leave? I'm like, I
Right?
thought that she was. What's that word? When they let
Emancipated.
You, emancipated. Why aren't you living by yourself then?
Well, I don't think she is officially emancipated yet, right?
She's not, but like the point is, what mom who knows that their daughter is attracted to
mom
women
that
lets a
doesn't
woman live with the
exist.
daughter in the house
I
during
really
high
think
school?
a mom that doesn't
I
exist.
agree with
There's
you.
something up.
There's something up with her
up with
story.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Her mom does not exist, you guys. Or she is somebody that we know, or
Oh my gosh.
I think it's gonna be a new character.
If it's a new character, you guys, like they are gonna have to explain like why her mom is so like money hungry and why she doesn't care about her daughter, and they're gonna have to explain like why the hell no one has come looking for Sarah. Her friends were apparently so worried about her, like you know, but they also had some kind of mean things to say about her. Remember?
Right.
She doesn't seem like she was like the Alison DiLaurentis. She doesn't seem like that.
I forgot that they said she was the ally of their group.
Yeah, they made her seem like she was a bully, like a school bully.
Oh my God, I feel like that's really important.
That is super weird.
So she's really sketchy because she's putting on this innocent act when really we know she was a bully her whole life.
She comes across as being freaking pathetic, you guys, and then
oh my God,
it makes no sense
and
as to how
we all keep thinking she's lying all the time. You know, you're like, I don't believe her story about the accident.
Yeah,
I think she's so sketchy.
What if she's like manipulating the situation, which totally obvious. Manipulating the situation.
Yeah.
She probably is.
Well, I really hope that she's manipulating something. Cause give her a storyline, please.
Yeah.
Because right now it's kind of like, okay. At Forrest Gump asks, important question. After countless episodes, is it possible that Sarah has no relevance at all in the series?
Yeah,
very much so.
I mean, there's a lot that they have to explain. I mean, there's a reason why Charles like took her, brought her to the dollhouse. I mean, the other thing that could be is that she was so tormented and brainwashed that sometimes she thinks that her mom is Mrs. de Laurentiis, and you know, Mrs. de Laurentiis and Allie didn't have the best relationship, so maybe that's sort of something going on. But
that's interesting.
Yeah, one of you did say on Twitter though, you mentioned that she was hit by the green Range Rover that was Leslie's car. But I think earlier we were just mentioning that I don't believe that was really the car that hit her. I don't really believe that Sarah was hit by a car at all. That's what I was trying to say. It was just a little confusion.
If it would be a much better storyline if she in fact does know who's after them and she's been like meeting up with that person and
playing
Charles has like completely beaten her up and then she's like was face to face that person. She used the car thing as a side story.
Well, because she didn't even say. I don't know. It just I found it weird. I found the whole thing weird.
Maybe misconstruing things, but when the girls went into Leslie's college place where she TAs and stuff, how the green Range Rover was outside. You guys were saying that
it wasn't the green Range Rover.
I think it's the same green Range Rover. What if she's trying to turn Emily on her friends, saying like
that
Emily
the girls hit her?
Yeah, Emily knows that the girls have the Range Rover. I think. What if Emily connects 2 and 2 and says, "Why the hell are my friends hitting her?"
But for me, I didn't think that the girls still had the Range Rover at that point.
But why was it parked outside of the?
We were.
I don't think it was green though, and it had a silver thing on the back, and I don't remember seeing that on the back of Leslie's car.
Wouldn't like the producers think, "Oh, that car is a little bit confusing"?
Or they're probably
not if they're getting paid by Range Rover to have cars.
Or they have
Remember in Twilight when
Rover
everybody drove Volvos in Twilight? Maybe it's the same thing.
Was that? I've seen so.
Yeah, it was a real thing. Do you know that
it's
Volvo?
Called product placement, guys.
Product placement. It's like when you drink a Coke, you drive a Range Rover. Same diff, honestly.
That's how they get their moolah.
Yeah, for real. I mean, it's sponsorships. It is kind of weird though because that is sketchy and why they showed the outside. I was like, okay, well maybe they were just trying to show that they were
don't really do that usually during PLL, like those whatever shots.
Yeah, those outside shots.
Yeah.
But I thought maybe they were just trying to show that they were at Leslie's college.
Sure.
But I guess now for next week we can speculate that something big is going to happen, obviously.
Yeah, it looks great.
Perhaps somebody's going to get shot. We don't know. But we've now cleared Leslie Stone as being A. We still have to figure out why she has an obsession with those glasses. I don't know, dude. Maybe she's just like my crazy ex-boyfriend. Who knows? But honestly, now that we've cleared her, I think it's Sarah Harvey's next. Like I think that's
so too.
The next girl we're going to get some answers about. But more than anything, I want to know exactly what Mr. D knows now that he's digging up the grave, now that he's called all those doctors. Like, I want next week to be him, and hopefully Alison DiLaurentis returns to the show, and like be like, okay, so this is what I called these doctors, and this is what they told me. Like, that's a lot of really good information.
And I love that he's kind of on the same page with us. Like, he doesn't know, so he's trying to find answers, and it's like really exciting.
We sympathize.
But he's not innocent.
We sympathize with you.
He cannot be innocent, you guys. And I'm so happy you brought that up. So let us know, you guys. What do you think? Do you think that Mr. D knew more about Charles's death than he led Allison and Jason to believe? And if so, do you think that it was a coincidence tonight finding the grave, or do you think that he's been in on this with Mrs. D the whole time? Like, that's so creepy to think about. If he knew that,
super creeps.
Dude, if he knew that Charles was buried in that backyard, like, why are you burying your kids in the backyard? No, that's freaking weird. All right, the hashtag to use online is hashtag PLLAS for the Pretty Little Liars after show. 4 episodes, you guys, and then we're done with season 6. That's unreal.
Oh.
Okay.
All right.
Are we ready?
Are you ready? Wrapping it up. Okay, guys, thank you. We love you.
Love you.
3, 2, 1. For more Pretty Little Liars, the after show, what are you waiting for? Hit that button and subscribe to theStream.tv.